Next up, we have Sinking Road, created by Moa Olson, aka Baphomet the Clown. Moa, you ready?
I am more than ready.
All
Let's
right, let's
do
go.
this. Hi, I'm Moa Olson, but you can call me Baphomet the Clown, and I'm here to present my indie animated movie, Sinking Road. Let's do this. Next slide. So this is the first poster, which showcases my fawn and the main character Dottie, as well as a bit of the main setting in the back with wacky buildings all about, and a little secret hiding in the moon. Next slide. So, what's Sinking Road gonna be about? Well, let me tell you. Sinking Road is a young adult comedy and fantasy film. Dottie Duet, after getting pushed into the waters by an unknown assailant, she mysteriously gets attached to a magical golden road which drags her down to the underwater Sinking Road village. Once there, she meets the embodiments of the eight Buddhist precepts, some welcoming her, and some, like the infamous first precept, who's out for her blood. Next slide. So this is the main character, Dottie Duet, who's voiced by the amazing Nola Klopp. Short-tempered and in a constant state of confusion, she doesn't want to be in the Sinking Road village, but makes do of her situation. Next slide. And this is the main antagonist, Keytoon, voice acted by the amazing Violet Josh VA. The first precept in an absolutely goofy cartoon, but don't be fooled. He has a thirst for blood and will use his shape-shifting abilities to clench it. Now, that animation on the bottom is actually from another animation of mine, a music video called A Villain's Night, where he's featured, as he has not been animated into the movie yet. Next slide. As for the other characters for Sinking Road, it's quite the big cast, so I can't get over them all in detail. But we've got Epi and Narco, the princes of Sinking Road Village who follow Dottie about. King Appetitio, the king of Sinking Road Village, a royal with a big heart and appetite. And then we have stage frighter Goldilocks, a kleptomaniac theater lady with a dramatic attitude. And Tipsy Stolly, the self proclaimed bar queen who's cursed to be a goblin child forever. Snoozy, the weakest of the precepts, but she doesn't mind, she just wants to sleep. Mr. Glory, proudly pompous and egotistical, but not a bad guy, just happy to live. Pathologia, a pathological liar who's so good at it he practically speaks in reverse. And last but not least, Priestess. A priestess who's not very holy, totally just because she's a Buddhist. Yeah. Next slide. And here is a poster showing all of the goobers together, with Dottie in the front and Keytoon chasing her in the back. The twin princes are right next to Dottie as they follow her around the village wherever she goes. Next slide. So for progress, I've currently finished scene 1 to 4, and it's been in the works for over 2 years at this point, and the third anniversary will hit at the end of April of this year. The top left GIF is from the first scene, top right from the second, bottom left from the third, and bottom right from the fourth, jumping from character to character. Next slide. At the current moment, I'm working on scene 5, and there will be 10 scenes in total. This scene will feature two precepts, Snoozy and Keytoon, the antagonist. Here you can sort of see how I progress through my work, which I try to post more on Twitter when possible. The next slide. So for my inspirations, it comes from all over the place, but the most significant are shown here. The stock photo is supposed to show how the initial idea was actually inspired from a dream I had, and that's where it was born. Cuphead is where I got a ton of inspiration for character designs and developing my art style further. Alice in Wonderland is a huge inspiration for me in general, but for Sinking Road more so. So, since it's about jumping from one wacky character to the other and follows similar beats, Hoseki no Kuni or Land of the Lustrous inspired a lot of the subtle Buddhist themes. Gallico from Vocaloid inspired Dottie Duet's design, and Wizard of Oz, similarly to Alice in Wonderland, followed the similar beats, as well as the Golden Road themes and Dorothy inspiring Dottie's design and name. Next slide. So, for the themes and plans, I wish to present a ridiculous and nonsensical tale for people to enjoy. about these wacky, colorful clown people having silly character interactions and bonding. My plans for Sinking Road in the future is to finish it, of course, but beyond that, to make merch for it, blooper videos, plus way more silly side content for it. But I've got many other stories planned and will continue to make more animated stories after Sinking Road is concluded. In fact, I already know what I'll be making after Sinking Road, so continue to support me if that's so. I plan to keep all my projects free and open to anyone who'd be interested. Next slide. So, what about me, the creator? Moa Olsen, aka Baphomet the Clown. I'm an indie animator, cartoonist, and musician, and I forgot to mention that I'm 23 years old. Currently working as the only animator under the name Pound Town Hound. I dream to get all my stories animated into full pictures and to making my living. Most of my stories take place in an alien world called Worm, inhabited by clown like humanoids called Dumbletrates. Sinking Road being no exception to this. I'm inspired by a lot of classic cartoons as well as webtoons and even a lot of anime. When I'm not working on my animations, I'm probably drawing one of my many characters doing something silly. I got my YouTube, Twitter, and business email. Next slide. Some extra words before I end my ramblings. I make all the music for Sinking Road, so it will all be original, and I'm the only animator on it, so sadly no fast progress is made, but I am hoping for 2025, but it's not a hard deadline. I could not do any of this without the support from my friends, family, voice actors, fans, and especially my beloved significant other who has all kept me motivated to continue working on this, among other things. They are my life. Thank you all so much. Thank you for your consideration. Honk!
Thank you so much, Baphomet. I absolutely love your art style. And we have a couple minutes for questions from the audience. So we asked for questions a few minutes ago. I'm going to go through them and see. How long do you anticipate the film to be?
It's gonna be around 50 minutes, with credits and the opening song. But the animation itself, I imagine, is gonna be around 40 minutes ish.
Awesome.
I kind of strived big for this.
Mm-hmm. And then it looks like some people were asking questions about the music. So could you tell us more about the music in this film?
Well, I'm very inspired by like bands like Creature Feature and people like Danny Elfman and stuff like that. I make a lot of very dark circus clown music, very goofy like music. And I actually have a SoundCloud and a Bandcamp. And I can, if you guys are interested, I could share them tomorrow on Twitter. But otherwise, they should be found somewhere around my links. I'll organize better in the future.
All right, awesome. And we do have links to your Twitter and your project in the description as well. Looks like we have time for one more question. I'm going to look around here and see if we missed anything. Seems like for the most part, though, everyone's just praising how this looks, and I totally agree.
Thank you guys so much. It seriously means a lot. I'm about to cry.
Okay, where'd you get your horn? That's the last question.
I got it on a party site. One of those party gift sites.
Awesome.
Pretty cheap, but it's awesome. It works. Thank you all so much. Thank you for having me, and good luck to everyone else.
Okay, thank you, Moa. We love Baphomet the Clown around here. All right, next up we're gonna hear, it's Man's turn.
So, thank you to Sinking Road. That is definitely an interesting project that I'm going to be keeping my eye on.